Gambling, as you know, there is a difference between gambling and harmful gambling. So there is gambling for fun and entertainment, and then there is harmful gambling where it is affecting you financially, it's affecting your work performance, your school performance, it's affecting people around you, so you get socially affected, you're affected emotionally and also physically as well. So what we want to emphasize is the difference between gambling and and harmful gambling. Now, gambling, what is gambling? So gambling involves the wagering of, so you're placing a bet, it's a wager. It's a wager where the outcome is unknown. So you are putting something at stake on the possibility that you might win something big. So you're putting something at stake and the outcome of it is unknown. So for example, if a radio station is having a competition that if caller number 10 if the caller number 10 calls in, that they win a prize, right? So if you're trying to call into that radio station, that is not gambling because you're not putting anything at stake to win something. You're taking the outcome is unknown, but you don't lose anything. Whether you call or you don't, there's nothing at stake of losing. But for something to be recognized as gambling, there is a chance that you are losing something. You are putting something at stake at the chance of losing something or at the chance of winning something. So that is the difference between gambling and just playing something. Also, there is also the difference, like I said, in regards to gambling and harmful gambling, which is very important. If you're gambling for fun, that is okay. But if you're gambling for larger amounts of time, if you are neglecting your studies, if you're neglecting your work, if you're neglecting, spending time with loved ones because you are gambling, then that tells us that those are signs that your gambling has become problematic.
And because we have seen a lot of international students coming to our services, and majority of them have been to casino. I think for a lot of Asians international students, going to casino can be quite a novelty because it's not as accessible as a lot of places in Asia country. And unfortunately, some international students have become addicted to gambling, and Shirleen will share with you, and so that you can have a look in this gambling continuance and understand how that could impact on individual.
Sure. So gambling happens on a continuum. It's a spectrum. We can't categorize individuals that he's a gambler, he's a problem gambler. It happens on a continuum, and any individual who engages in gambling is not there because they want to be a problem gambler. Gambling, what initiates the gambling and what maintains and escalates the gambling depends on several different factors. So it's on a continuum of entertainment and social activity. So if you're gambling for fun and if you're gambling for socially, that's fine. What does social gambling mean? So if you go in with the intention of just spending $20, whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter to you. You walk away. That means your gambling is for entertainment only. However, if you go with the intention of gambling with only $50, but you find yourself going back and forth to the ATM, or you find yourself sitting at the machine or gambling for longer periods of time than intended, then that shows, or that tells us that something is not right about the way you gamble. And that could indicate that you know, your gambling is becoming problematic. And some of the things that we look out for are chasing losses. So chasing losses means that if you're gambling and you lost $100, you go back the next day at the possibility of winning back that money. So you're trying to recover the money that you lost gambling. So that is called chasing losses. You feel guilty about either about the amount of money or amount of time that you're spending at the casino. And most often than not, it's about the financial losses, feeling guilty about just how much money you have spent gambling. And because you're feeling on edge because of either financial losses, then it leads to a lot of arguments with people around you, people close to you in your social circle. There are also, you know, you might also be feeling you might also be experiencing depressive symptoms because you're losing a lot of money, or because of gambling, your work or study is being affected. You're wasting a lot of time gambling, and then you are not being able to complete your work or your study assignments, or your study is being affected, and you're not able to complete your assignment on time. And again, that also because you're feeling stressed. If you think back to the symptoms that we talked about in terms of stress, then this is what happens as well, that you start experiencing mood swings. So you're experiencing different emotions during the day because you're on edge, because, you know, something is not right. You're either losing money, you're either not being, you know, you're feeling overwhelmed. And if you continue to gamble excessively, if your gambling escalates and you don't do something about it, then it could have, you know, more serious impact, such as you can go, you know, you can become depressed, or you can get into a lot of debt, accumulate a lot of debt. There are also, at times, we hear that students are also, or clients are also, they also engage in criminal activity to get money to gamble, or, you know, because they're so much in debt that, you know, there also comes a point where they think about suicide.
And
So